welcome to today's webinar. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I wanted to go over how you can become healthier and stronger during times of severe illness. So a lot of people that I've been speaking to today have been really concerned whether or not if they're going to get this virus, what are they going to do? If you get it, how do I recover from it? And I wanted to just share, the techniques that I've been doing in my life and as well as my clients' lives. And what's awesome about these techniques is they're really easy, they're affordable, you can do it in the comfort of your own home, and it works, right? So I wanted to share that with the public because, me and my clients, we sleep at night having peace of mind. We're not worried about what's going to happen, whether or not our bodies are strong enough to fight this virus. So I wanted to share that with you guys. But real quick, let me just share some things about myself. I am a mom. I have a 12-year-old daughter, so I do understand what it's like trying to live healthier and raise a family. I was a ballroom dancer in the past. I danced for about 7 or 8 years. So fitness has always just been a part of my life. And in the bottom right corner, you're gonna see my horse. I've always raised horses. I've always been working with animals, training animals. Again, training has just always been a part of my life, as well as repairing animals' health. I've worked with dolphins, I've worked with big cats, again, I've worked with horses. And it's very similar when you're working with people. You're still dealing with hormone issues, you're dealing with anxiety. It's very similar. So I have like 20 years plus working with the body and training and how to get your bodies physically and mentally healthier. I am a Z Health practitioner, so what that means is I do train people, but I use the principles of neurology to get you out of pain, move more efficiently, so you can walk down the stairs and have confidence that your knees aren't going to hurt, that you can do your everyday job without back pain, neck pain. I work with people who've dealt with strokes, Parkinson's, concussions, you name it. I've trained and worked with almost everything now. So going on, I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but I really wanted to see how you are doing. Again, many people are anxious. Is this how you're feeling? Do you notice as time goes on and you're stuck in the house, are you angry? Do you feel sad? Are you fearful? Maybe you're on the other side of the spectrum. Maybe you're feeling unmotivated, like you just don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to really do anything. Maybe you feel bored, tired. Maybe you felt like you've lost purpose. Sadly, maybe you're someone who's recently lost their job and you're not quite sure what to do and how to move forward. And we're going to touch on this in this webinar. I'm going to do little techniques explain techniques that will help you mentally, fix your mindset, and then again, like physically, okay? So I put this webinar together because I really do feel that knowledge is power. My intention of this webinar is for you to feel empowered afterward. I want you to feel like, you know what, oh, okay, I got this, I can do this. I want you to feel that you can apply these with your family, you can do this every day, that it's simple enough, it's not overwhelming, it's not gonna add to your anxiety. So I really hope you enjoy it. You are going to hear me talk a lot about brain health. Again, that is my background. Brain health is important because it's in charge of our organ health, our nervous system, our immune system, emotions, and our focus. So if we're worried about our health and we're worried about, like, let's say the respiratory system, since this virus deals with our lungs, if we're kind of worried about, my lungs, you want to be concerned about your brain. You want to see, is your brain communicating with the rest of your body? So later on in this webinar, I'm going to give you different drills or little exercises that you can do every day to help your brain read the rest of your body, which will repair and improve organ health, your immune system, things like that. So mindset. Mindset is really important right now. In this picture, you'll see that the same old thinking is going to give you the same old results. And what I've been realizing with myself and with my clients and just other people that I've been speaking to, if you're feeling really anxious and lost right now, more than likely you were feeling anxious and lost before. Does that make sense? You know, if you're someone that is really high-strung, bad sleep, poor nutrition habits, maybe you didn't exercise, and you were unhappy with how your health was before this virus, and now all of a sudden there's this virus, it's scary, we're stuck at home, and now you feel like you're anxious times 10. Well, this is because you didn't have a good routine to begin with. This is because you didn't have a proper mindset to begin with. And this isn't a judgment, because I'm finding that there's things that I'm still working on, and that this situation has brought up things that I'm trying to fix in my own schedule. It's just data. You know, again, there's no judgment here. So if you're currently feeling lost, scared, having anxiety, maybe this is because you were dealing with that before, and so it's bringing it up. So we're going to talk about what you can do to help that. But the most important thing that you can do right now is be productive. And again, this is the intention of the webinar. I want you afterwards I want you to feel like you're bursting out of the seams, like you want to be productive, you want to change your life, you want to make a difference. All right, so this is how we're going to be productive. One of the first things that I always recommend with my clients is to get sunlight. All living things need the sun, right? Plants need the sun, animals need the sun, we need the sun. And we forget that sometimes. We're so busy with our everyday life, we forget that we actually thrive when we're sitting out in the sun. This is how we're going to increase energy. This is how we get vitamin D. Vitamin D is really important for the immune system. It's very important for our thyroid. When, you know, if you've ever read my articles, if you've watched some of my videos, I'm always talking about thyroid, because thyroid in Greek, it's called the shield. It's the shield of our body. It controls our immune system, it controls our temperature, it controls everything. When the thyroid is off, everything is off. So when we're getting vitamin D, which is one of the vitamins that the thyroid specifically uses to produce healthier hormones for us, we can get this by just sitting out in the sun. Okay, so when we get vitamin D, we get energy, it boosts our immune system. It also improves sleep. You know, how's your sleep right now? Are you waking up between 2:30 to 4:30 in the morning? There's a reason for that. You're deficient in certain minerals and certain vitamins. What if you're anxious? You feel depressed. I know you guys have heard about, or maybe you're someone that lives in a cold climate and there's a lot of clouds. Everyone knows colder climates and cloudier areas, there's more prone for like depression, suicide, anxiety, things like that. So sunlight is extremely important for our brain, our mental health, and our physical health. Maybe you're stuck at home and you would like to lose weight. Sunlight is wonderful because it increases your metabolism, and it's a wonderful, it's a free supplement that you can use to help you lose weight. So what do I recommend? And what should you do? And you know, real quick, if you notice that there is a pencil in the top left corner, this is your time to write notes. There's going to be certain slides that you're going to see this pencil. So go ahead and just jot this stuff down, and I will be recapping afterward. But the first thing that you want to do is expose as much skin as legally possible. So be in your backyard if you can, you know, strip down and really absorb as much sun as possible. If you can't do that, wear a tank top, wear shorts, you know, but the more sun you get on your skin, the better. I recommend staying out for about like 30 minutes to maybe even 2 hours if you can take that. If you're someone that burns easily, do not do this. I don't want you to burn. Maybe you can't even do 30 minutes. So I would recommend just doing like 10-minute intervals throughout the day. And again, without sunscreen. I want to expose as much skin as possible, and I want your skin to be able to absorb as much sun as possible. So sunblock, sunscreen, you know, it's a disservice for you, so if you can stay away from that. But again, if you're someone that burns easily, go ahead and apply just a thin layer of it, or just stay out, maybe 10 minutes without it, and then you can apply the sunscreen. There is an app that I really recommend. I have all my clients use this. I love it. It's called D-Minder. You can get this from your app store on your phone. And this is specifically for tracking vitamin D. So if you're like, you know what, I want to improve my thyroid, I want to improve my immune system, Jen said to get vitamin D, use this app, because not only you can put in like the amount of hours that you're under the sun, you can put in how much milk you've had that day. Maybe you take a vitamin D supplement. This will plug everything in so you know exactly how much vitamin D you're getting. So it's just a great, great tool. So, I talked about sunlight. Something else that is really important for your mental and physical health is our sleep. This is how our body repairs. If you're getting bad sleep right now, more than likely you are going to feel more anxious. You're going to have low energy. Maybe you're starting to feel like it's easy for you to get sick. Maybe, everything is blooming right now. Maybe you're suffering from allergies. You're dealing with a cough, different things like that. When our sleep is bad, our immune system gets low, and so we're susceptible and vulnerable to anything and everything. So really work on your sleep. This is really important. So instead of staying up late, I recommend, creating a routine for yourself where you go to bed early enough to where you get a good amount of sleep, like 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Maybe you need 10. But at night, we have certain organs and functions that always happen every night when we sleep. One is our liver detoxes. Instead of spending so much time worrying about whether or not I'm getting my detox tea or I'm getting a detox supplement, we actually already have that function built into us automatically. And this happens when we sleep, and the liver is a huge part of that. All right, so go ahead, take notes. What I want you to do, or if you do have bad sleep, what I want you to do is grab a snack 30 to 45 minutes before you go to bed. All right, and I know this is the exact opposite of what you've been told to do. They always say, stop eating around 6. Honestly, there's no science behind that. It's just recommendations on how you can lose weight, but honestly, you're hurting your body in the long run. We need food. Our body repairs at night, and it requires a lot of fuel to do that. So 30 to 45 minutes before bed, I love to have chocolate milk. You can do cocoa powder. Hershey's makes a wonderful product. It's Hershey's Simply 5. It doesn't have any junk in it. It's just 5 ingredients. You can add that to milk. You can do warm milk. I know that's like an old not a wives' tale, but a remedy, a home remedy that they used to do for bad sleep. You can do a half a cup of ice cream. You can do cheese and fruit, whatever you'd like. But make sure that it has protein, it has carbs, and you'll notice that your sleep will improve. Also, something that you can do is meditation. I meditate every night before I go to bed. It doesn't have to be like a 30-minute, hour-long session. Maybe you just want to do 10 or 15 minutes. That is enough. And it's nice to kind of, turn off the lights, lay there, breathe, relax, think about the day, think about, what you accomplished, what made you happy, the fun you had with your family. This is the time to kind of calm the mind, slow everything down, and just relax. Now, I'll get into this later on, but breathing exercises is wonderful. And this kind of goes hand in hand with meditation. When we breathe, again, that's another way to calm our mind. It gives our brain fuel. Our brain needs oxygen and CO2. So if you've had a really busy day and you feel like your mind is just spinning and it won't turn off, meditating, eating, doing breathing exercises right before bed is a wonderful way to do that, all right? Let's talk a little bit more about breathing, specifically on how to do this right before bed. Breathing is really good for, I lost my train of thought, I'm so sorry. It's really good for cellular health and energy. And I know when you're trying to like go to bed, decompress, the last thing you want to think of is increasing energy. But what this is going to do, it's going to give the brain the amount of fuel it needs in order for you to relax, sleep, and then the brain can do what it needs to do and help you repair. It also gives you a healthy metabolism. So like I mentioned earlier, if you want to lose weight, breathing throughout the day is a great way to do that. You'll actually burn more calories when you do this. A really interesting fact about oxygen and CO2 is that viruses cannot survive. So if you're really anxious whether or not you're going to get this virus and if your body is strong enough to fight it, something that you can do now is taking the time and just sitting and breathing throughout the day. Viruses cannot survive in a highly oxygenated state. Viruses thrive on higher levels of nitric oxide. That means when we're more on the acidic level, we're more prone to get sick, whether that's a virus, colds, if you're dealing with diabetes, cancer, thyroid issues, heart issues, you are automatically going to be more acidic. So if this is where you're at physically, stopping, breathing throughout the day is a perfect way for you to kind of start to repair your health. I really recommend bag breathing, 15 breaths total. That's really all you need. You inhale through your nose and you exhale through the mouth. You use a paper bag or you can use a gallon-sized Ziploc baggie. And the really important thing is, yes, this is good for you, but if you start to feel dizzy and lightheaded, you need to stop, right? Don't push your body. Don't think that, more is better. Just sit, breathe, and the total is like 15 breaths. If you have to stop before then, that's fine. That's probably all you can handle for right now. If you make this consistent and regular throughout the day, you'll be able to do more than 15 breaths. And like I said, this is really good for you because it's going to calm your mind, it's going to help you sleep, and it boosts metabolism, and it's a natural defense against viruses. Something that I love to do right before I go to bed is taking baths. You'll notice that a lot of the tips and techniques that I'm talking about today is I want you to do them mainly at night. And this is because thyroid function actually lowers at night. This is why usually if we have a cold or something, we'll feel crummier at night, we'll feel better during the day. This is because cold, darkness, it's all stressful to our metabolism. So breathing at night, making sure that you're eating right before bed, and then also taking baths. I love Epsom salt baths. This is a great way for you to get magnesium and salt. These two minerals are really important when it comes to boosting your metabolism and building your immunity so you can fight certain illnesses that are very common right now. All you need is 4 to 5 cups of Epsom salt. Please make sure that it's unscented. Things with lavender, eucalyptus, and other scents, they've been known to actually burn people's skin, so please be careful of that. Unscented is perfect. Soak in the water for about, anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour. If you're going to be in there longer than 30 minutes, I want you to bring a snack. I want you to bring like juice. You can bring milk again, cheese and fruit. Sit there, relax, put on Netflix, put on a podcast, and just wait and soak in all the minerals. Epsom salt baths are awesome when you have pain issues. If you notice that you're maybe dealing with neck tension, back tension because you're stressed, you're not sleeping well, or maybe this is just something that you have dealt with for a while now, do Epsom salt baths every day. It's affordable, it's relaxing, and it's a great habit to add to your daily routine. I kind of touched on this already about the Epsom salt being unscented, but something else, if you don't have Epsom salts handy, what you can do is 2 cups of baking soda. It's just that small box of baking soda. Just throw the whole box in there and you soak for like 20 to 45 minutes. baking soda is going to increase salt, and it's going to automatically increase your CO2 levels. So you should have a wonderful night's sleep after you're done with this. You'll also notice that your skin will be super soft. Maybe you're dealing with skin issues currently. This is a wonderful way to get rid of that. So we kind of went through like the nighttime routine that I like to do, that my clients like to do. Now let's talk about like during the day. What are we supposed to do during the day? The brain loves movement, so of course I had to put exercise in here. All right, don't just sit on the couch every day watching TV, not doing anything. You need to get up and move, especially if you're dealing with depression, anxiety, feeling thoughts and feelings of hopelessness. Get up and get moving. Now, I have different exercises that I recommend. You'll notice here that there's a man here, he's just doing planks. He's just doing body weight. There's resistance bands, there's kettlebells, there's dumbbells, all sorts of exercises that you can do. Please don't think that it has to be, hours, long. I recommend just doing like maybe 15 to 20 minute workouts if you're a beginner. You can do maybe yoga during the day. What I personally like to do is do kettlebells and resistant bands during the week. And on Saturday, I like to do yoga. It's a way to just relax, work on my flexibility, and it gives me energy, and I feel great throughout the week. I was going to say something about the gym, but gyms aren't an option right now. So if you have room in your living room, I recommend just putting the bands, the kettlebell kind of tucked away, and you can do a home workout. If you don't know exactly what to do for a workout, there are awesome YouTube videos for free that you can follow. Feel free, you can always contact me. I have tons of workout videos specifically for home workouts, so you can reach out to me. But again, the whole point is for you to be productive and not do the same old habits that you were doing before. So if you weren't implementing exercise in your life before, now is the time to start just doing 10 minutes a day of something. You'll really enjoy the difference and the benefits of it. Going on with talking about the immune system, this is when earlier I had mentioned that I'm going to talk about nervous system, brain health, and the vagus nerve specifically kind of ties into that. The vagus nerve is the biggest nerve in the human body. We have two sides. We have the left and the right side. And what's awesome about the vagus nerve is that it goes from the brain, it goes to the lungs, it goes to our stomach, or it even hits our heart. So when we stimulate this vagus nerve, we actually can improve all different areas of our health. So if you're dealing with mood and depression and anxiety, stimulating the vagus nerve can help that because it starts in the brain. If you're, like I said, worried about your respiratory health, if you're worried about maybe you have a bad heart, maybe you have bad digestion, stimulating the vagus nerve is a wonderful way to turn that around. And it takes, literally just 30 seconds, if that. And it's a really important nerve for the human body, and it's really important when it comes to the immune system. The vagus nerve deals with things like sneezing, swallowing, our gag reflex. The vagus nerve is in charge of all of that. So if you notice that you're dealing with like allergies at the moment, and you're sneezing a lot, maybe you're someone that is noticing that you're having a hard time like swallowing food, that you start feeling like you're choking, different things like that. That is a vagus nerve issue, and I'll show you in just a sec how to fix that. If you're someone that wants to lose weight and you're dealing with weight loss right now, vagus nerve deals with that because it stops in our gut, it stops in our stomach, and it's in charge of that feeling of when we feel satisfied and full after we've eaten. I know some people, they don't have that feeling. Oh, I think my camera went off. Real quick. So the vagus nerve helps with making us feel full. So something that you can do every day is, and I'm back, is gargling for 30 seconds. Just gargle with water, doesn't have to be anything special. Splashing cold water on your face, that cold hit of cold water on your face can stimulate the vagus nerve. Maybe even humming for 30 seconds. If you love to sing, if you like to hum in the shower, sing in the shower, this is a great time to stimulate the vagus nerve. Also, wearing a waist trainer. I know that a lot of you are familiar with waist trainers because it said that it can actually slim your waist. I don't use it for that. I personally use it for vagus nerve stimulation, and you wrap it around your midsection and it instantly kind of creates a better communication between the brain and the stomach. And again, as you know, I mentioned this earlier, and this is kind of a well-known belief anyway, that the gut deals with the immune system. They work together. If our immune system is low and if we're dealing with poor health, we always have like gut inflammation, we have digestive issues, maybe you're dealing with heartburn, constipation, things like that. This can be helped and fixed just by stimulating the vagus nerve. So you really want to look into that. This is something that you can incorporate when you get up in the morning, when you're brushing your teeth. Just sit there or stand there, gargle, splash cold water on your face, and just get consistent with it every day. Just try these little techniques, and you'll notice that maybe you're dealing with some pain and it'll start to go away. Tension will start to go away. Mood and anxiety will improve and get better. Something that I mentioned that meditation is good at night. I actually like to do meditation in the morning as well. So I actually meditate 2 times a day. And you don't have to do, hour-long meditations. If for right now you can only handle maybe doing 10 minutes of meditation, that's fine. You're going to find when we meditate, it's going to clear and calm your mind. So if you have an anxious mind right now, if you're really concerned about what the future holds for you, how work is going to be, bills, just everyday stress that everyone is concerned about right now. Meditation is a way to kind of just ground you and get out of that panic mode and just center you and help you to focus. It also lowers blood pressure. So if you're worried, if you're so anxious and you know that your blood pressure is rising and it's affecting your health, just stop. 10 minutes a day and meditate will be wonderful. It also improves your creativity. I want you guys to use this time while we're homebound is to be productive, be proactive, be creative. Don't be the same person that you were, before this virus hit. This is the time to create a new life, create new habits, create different mindsets. And right now, if you're feeling really anxious and your mind is going a mile a minute, that's hard to do, right? So meditation is a wonderful way to do that. And, something that I've been speaking a lot on is making sure that our entertainment is balanced, that it's peaceful, that it's not creating more anxiety. So I actually recommend, balancing your time between social media and watching the news. There is a lot of news coverage, obviously, on the virus right now, and as you know, some of it is accurate, some of it's not. Sometimes it's challenging to find which one we should listen to, but something that I want you to kind of just take a mental note, after you've been watching the news for a while, or you're scrolling through Facebook and you're seeing all these posts regarding the virus and, how long are we going to be under quarantine? How long are we not going to be able to work? And, the amount of deaths, right? If you start to feel anxious and you start to feel angry after watching this, take this as a warning sign and stop watching it, or at least limit your time, because if we're going to sit there and soak all this negativity in, all this fear in, we're going to become anxious, and that actually lowers your immune system. That makes you weaker. It makes you more susceptible to getting a virus or to getting colds or, whatever that's going around in the air, right? It's going to affect your sleep, which we kind of touched on. It's going to wreck your immune system. So, if you're feeling, like there's no hope, if you're feeling like you don't know what to do, balancing your entertainment and making sure that you are watching things that calm your mind, that are productive, that are actually serving you is going to be, the better way to go. So again, I'm all about being productive in the home right now. So, organizing your home right now is a perfect way to do that. Don't just sit on the couch. Stop watching the news. Stop watching Netflix. Stop scrolling through Facebook for hours. Do something. Do something that makes you feel good. If you're not working, you need to have purpose. You need to feel like you're achieving something. If your surrounding area, your environment is, filled with clutter, your mind is going to be cluttered. There's such a difference when we walk into a room that is organized and clean. We relax, right? We just take that deep breath. And it's just like a whole new environment after we've organized something. It really calms the mind. It gives you a feeling of purpose. So if you have closets that are filled with clothes, get rid of it. If you have wires and books and magazines stacked, up high on tables, get rid of it, because it just makes you feel enclosed in. It's just a mess. Something I was listening to this morning, it was interesting, talking about the 80-20 rule. It said that 80% of what we have in our home, we do not use. We only use 20%. So if you look at your closet and you look at your drawers, 80% of those clothes we don't use. And I had, I'm one of those people. I had to stop and realize it's like, my drawers, my bedroom is stacked with clothes that I don't wear anymore. So this weekend I'm gonna work on clearing that out, because I love that feeling of having an organized space. I can be more creative, I can be more productive, I can do better at work and, for my family, and I feel better. So I'm actually gonna follow that 80-20 rule and start to slowly weed out and get rid of the things that, that 80% that I'm not using, it's not serving. So not only are you going to be organizing your house, I want you to start organizing your refrigerator and actually start organizing how you eat. All right? Our food intake is extremely important when it comes to our immune system and how healthy we're going to be during this time. So if you get up and you're not eating until like 3 or 4 hours later, this is something that needs to change ASAP. When we're just going about our day and we're not eating, we're actually lowering our metabolism, and it actually lowers our thyroid function, right? And remember, our thyroid is important when it comes to the immune system. If you want to be healthy during this time, if you want to thrive and have optimal energy and health, eating is the first thing that you should be focused on. All right, and be specific about what you eat. Don't just eat Cheetos, don't eat Doritos, don't eat donuts right now. Focus on getting plenty of fruits and protein. I'm gonna show that to you guys soon. But having a well-balanced diet is going to boost your metabolism, make you feel better. Your body, it's giving your body fuel, and you're actually going to be strong enough to fight things. And also, our brain needs food, right? So if you're feeling anxious and if you're dealing with mood issues, that's because your brain is hungry. Right now, it's trying to process everything that it's hearing about this virus and the changes and everything that's going on in our lives. And our frontal lobe, which controls our decision making, our emotions, our mood, things like that. Our frontal lobe is in charge of that, and that's the last to be fed when it comes to the brain's feeding pattern. It's kind of cool. The brain, its pattern is that it starts from the bottom to the top and back to front, because the back here deals with our organs, sensory, everything that has to deal with us keeping or staying alive. So it's important. So those are the things that first, get fed. But our frontal lobe that deals with our emotions and how to make good decisions is the last to be fed. So if you feel like you can't make good decisions, if you feel like you're just like, you know what, I really like what Jen has to say, but I just really don't want to get up. I don't want to organize my house. I just want to stay in bed. I don't have the energy to move. Well, this is because the frontal lobe, it's hungry. It's time to eat. So if you have feelings like that, or you're starting to feel overwhelmed and anxious, stop and think, okay, when was the last time I ate? So be cognizant of that. Try to eat more consistently, eating every 1 to 2 hours. It doesn't have to be huge, long meals. It can be just little snacks throughout the day. Making sure that you're getting enough protein is really important. Getting enough seafood in, beef, chicken, certain kinds of fish, eggs, all of those certain types of foods are, packed full of minerals and nutrients that are important when it comes to raising your immune system, especially right now. Also something that is kind of controversial, right? Fats, you never know what fat you should be eating. I really recommend eating saturated fats. Saturated fats builds cholesterol. Again, I know this is a different type of thinking. It's, what do you mean raise your cholesterol? I thought that was the opposite of what you need to do. But your total cholesterol, when you're looking at your blood work, that actually deals with your immune system. Cholesterol is the Band-Aid that the body uses to fix and repair certain issues that we may be dealing. Now, I won't go into the specifics of that. That can be another webinar. But I do want you to realize that cholesterol is actually really important. And eating fat is important. So if you're on purpose staying away from fat, you are automatically going to lower your immune system and make you more susceptible for disease and illness. So a fat that I want you guys to eat is butter and coconut oil. These are very good saturated fats. Please don't think that margarine is butter. I want you to use a real grass-fed butter. Kerrygold is a wonderful brand. You can find, all different kinds of butters that are actually real butter that's good for you at the store right now. And again, coconut oil. You feel free to buy the refined coconut oil if you don't like the flavor of coconut. I can't stand that. I hate when everything starts to taste like coconut, so I use the refined. It's not as bad as you think it is. I know the word refined is scary. But getting enough fat throughout the day, again, will give you energy, but it boosts our immune system, all right? So getting enough protein, getting enough fat, and then also getting plenty of fruit and juice. A real common belief nowadays is that sugar is bad for you, stay away from it, it's poison. And honestly, this is, it's the exact opposite. And I know that's confusing and I'm just adding more wrench in the gears of, what am I supposed to eat and maybe creating confusion. But when you actually study physiology and you go back, just in every high school book, you find out what the body uses to create energy, and it's glucose. So making sure that you're getting things like melon and grapes, doing things like stone fruit, which are like plums, peaches, doing tropical fruits, like mango, and doing, passion fruits and guavas. All of these guys are wonderful. And, just drinking juice. Orange juice is my favorite because it's really high in potassium, and it's just packed with glucose. But getting enough throughout the day. A rule that I usually kind of go by is every time I eat, I want to make sure that I have sugar with every meal. So if I'm drinking milk, I'll add some sugar to it, or I'll have milk and fruit. If I'm going to have meat, I will make sure that I have a side of fruit with it, or something to that effect. But again, it's all about balance. Making sure that you're getting fats, proteins, glucose, carbs, things like that, but consistently throughout the day. Now is not the time to be fasting. Now is not the time to be thinking, oh, I need to lose weight, so I'm going to limit my calories. This is old programming. These are old beliefs that have been, spoken about for years, and honestly, it's making you sicker. So it's okay to eat. You're a living thing. Like I said, you need the sunlight. You need the sunlight, and you need to eat. These are two very important things, and these two things are actually ignored nowadays. So, make sure, you get those in. So I've been talking a lot, and I want to know, what are the lessons that you've learned so far? What are your takeaways? Write those down. Because I've been speaking, there's some things in here that I know are pretty new concepts. So write them down. Feel free to reach out to me, ask me questions. I would love to help you. But just as a recap on these lessons, the first one I talked about getting enough sunlight in, right? This is where we get vitamin D. It improves metabolism. And all you have to do is just sit in the backyard or the front yard or wherever and just sit there. Remember, expose as much skin as you can and just sit there for anywhere from like 30 minutes to like 2 hours if you have that luxury. Doesn't have to be all at once. You can break it up, right? You can do like maybe 10-minute, 20-minute intervals throughout the day. It's actually a nice getaway from the family if you're like going crazy. Just step outside, you'll do great. And remember, no sunblock, right? If you're gonna put sunblock on, it's going to block vitamin D, which is what we want. So if you have to, wear it, but just wear a thin layer. And if you feel like you're starting to burn, just go inside and then later on step outside. And I want you to do this every day. Make this a habit. All right, this could you could be doing things like eating lunch outside, stuff like that. So improving sleep was the second thing I talked about, right? Sleep is how our body or how our brain repairs our body. It's how our body detoxes. It's how our systems clear out so we can get ready for the next day. So if you're having issues sleeping, this is when you want to have a snack 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Remember, meditate. I love my meditation at night. It's something that I look forward to. Doing things like breathing, making sure that you incorporate a meditation that has you do really deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, things like this. And remember, I had you write this down. So I didn't go into the lying down portion. I did mention bag breathing. So when you bag breathe, make sure that you cover your nose and mouth. You create a seal, and you inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. You do that for a total of 15 breaths. Remember, if you start to feel lightheaded or dizzy, stop. Even if you're at like breath number 5, that's fine. You've hit your limit, okay? And then you can just slowly work up to the 15. Notice this woman, she's laying down, her arms are behind her. This is a great diaphragm stretch. So if you don't feel comfortable bag breathing, you can do the exact same thing, laying down, stretch your arms out, behind you. This will get a really good pull and stretch and pull that diaphragm down as you inhale and exhale. And again, just in through the nose and out through the mouth, all right? Baths, I do this every night. This is how you're going to get your minerals. It helps with your pain and tension. And you're going to get magnesium and salt. And both of those minerals are really important when it comes to boosting your immune system and just calming the mind again. Sit in there for anywhere from 20 to 60 minutes. I know a lot of people out there, that's just like agony sitting there that long in a bath. So this is a good time. This is when you could bring in your Netflix. You can listen to podcasts, maybe an audiobook. Or just relax, enjoy the quiet time. 4 to 5 cups of Epsom salt is sufficient. It's perfect. Remember, it's the unscented kind. If you don't like Epsom salt, do 2 cups of baking soda. This will increase your CO2 production, and it's a great way to get salt. And your skin loves it. You'll be super soft. Movement and exercise. We talked about that. Remember, your brain loves movement. Don't just sit around in the house all day and do nothing. You really, really need to get out there and move. Your brain craves it. This is when we thrive. This is when it boosts creativity. And it just overall is good for us, right? It improves circulation. I recommend dumbbells, kettlebells, and resistant bands. Those are my favorite, but maybe you already have a in-home like gym system in your garage or something. Feel free to use that. If you don't have any tools, body weight is fine. You can do a great workout, a 10, 15-minute workout, just doing body weight exercises like squats, planks, push-ups. You know, I do, my goal is to do 50 push-ups every day, and then I also do a kettlebell workout. And my kettlebell workout's only like 15 minutes, you know, and if you stay consistent on top of that, you'll notice great results from it. It's awesome. So diving more and getting deeper into the body, working with your nervous system. Remember, I talked about the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is that really cool nerve because it's the biggest nerve that runs throughout the whole body, so we can tackle our brain, lung health, heart, and gut, right? Immune system correlates a lot with the gut. So if you're dealing with depression, anxiety, if maybe you're worried about the respiratory system, things like that, remember what we talked about when it comes to stimulating the vagus nerve. You can gargle for 30 seconds. You can do a deep, low hum for 30 seconds. There's a lot of meditations that deal with humming and breathing. You can just, you know, kill like 2 birds with 1 stone with that one. It's perfect. And then also that waist trainer. You know, you can buy those easily off of Amazon. You know, if you feel like you're having a hard time focusing and you're just unmotivated, I put on my waist trainer and it instantly improves my focus, and I'm able to be productive and get things done. All right, and that's because when we activate the gut, when it creates a better communication between the brain and the body. It's like having a better cell reception or something, a better cell signal. We talked a little bit already about meditation, right? Just sit there. You know, I love to meditate anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour, depending on how I feel that day. But if you can only handle 10 minutes, that's fine. You know, when we meditate, it increases focus. It get rid of anxiety. It brings, you know, clarity to us. It improves the immune system. And so when our mind is just like going a mile a minute and we can't sleep, we can't relax, we're snappy at people, you know, remove yourself from the environment, go into the backyard, go into a room, and just work on meditation and clearing your mind. You're going to love it. It's wonderful. So again, everything is dealing with having a balance, right? All these techniques are just small little steps and techniques that you can implement in your day. And so if you're going to be busy with meditation, taking baths, exercising, you're going to have less time to be worrying about social media and the news, which is good, because right now, honestly, a lot of it is just throwing out a lot of fear, I feel. You know, I'm totally down with people being educated and being aware of what's going on. But if you start to feel like you're getting anxious and you're angry after watching the news or, you know, scrolling through Facebook, this is the time to maybe, you know, evaluate our entertainment, right? Our entertainment should be entertaining. It should be positive. It should be uplifting and upbuilding. It's not meant to be tearing us down. So if you start to feel more negative after watching news reports and being on hours of, you know, social media, get off of it. You know, this is a time when you need to exercise. You can be meal prepping. You can be playing with your family. You can be doing the things that are actually going to improve your life and get you to a more empowered state and a more confident place, right? Remember I mentioned earlier that, you know, these are things that me and my clients have been doing, and we live every day feeling calm and we feel confident, and we're not bogged down a feeling of just fear, right? Fear, stress. We actually are using this time to benefit ourselves and change our lives for the better, all right? You know, if the news is bothering you, get up, start organizing your house. Get away from the television set and start doing things that make you feel better. And everyone would agree that when your house is organized, when we don't have clutter around us, we actually feel more empowered and more motivated to change, to live differently, to live healthier, right? This is going to be falling under like having a good mindset and having a healthier mind. So remember the 80-20 rule. If you go into your closets, if you're looking around your house and you see things that you haven't been using, or maybe you've even forgotten that you've owned them, 80% of the stuff that we own, we do not use. So use this time to start getting rid of that, and make space. This is going to help bring purpose into your day. You're not just sitting there on the couch. You're actually going to be doing something that's, nice. Eating consistently. That was the last thing that we covered. Making sure that you're not going 2 to 3, 4, 5 hours without eating. That's crazy. We're living things. We need to feed ourselves. If you want to be different, if you don't want to be doing the same harmful habits that you were doing before this virus came around and before we were quarantined, if you would like to be different, first thing you got to do is start changing your health. And to do that, you need to start eating. And remember, I said be specific. Don't just wake up and say, oh, I don't know what's in the fridge. Oh, I don't know what's in the cupboards. Have a plan. Know what you're going to eat throughout the week. Be organized, because if we just kind of leave it up in the air, we're more prone to eat the foods that are more harmful for us. That's when we're going to go for, the boxed foods, the frozen foods. We're going to go for, the Doritos, things like that. So, try to get more protein in, get seafood in, get beef in, chicken in, milk. I'm a huge fan of milk and cheese. Focus on getting saturated fats. I talked about butter and coconut oil. Remember, that's going to raise your cholesterol, and that's actually the Band-Aid of the body. And if you'd like to learn more about that, because I don't just want you guys to go out and just raise your cholesterol. So this is something that you could reach out and ask questions, and I can help you start making small little steps and changes in your food that actually will boost your immune system that way. So now I hope after this webinar you're realizing that there is a fork in the road now. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay the same, or are you going to change? Do you even accept the fact that maybe you need to change? If you're feeling anxious and angry and you're not confident in your health, hopefully this webinar has provided you enough information to see that, yes, you can change your health, and it's easy, it's easy to just sit and close your eyes and breathe. It's easy to just go out into the sun and sit there, maybe listen to an audiobook. I'm not talking about spending thousands of dollars on supplements or, working out, 2 to 3 times a day for hours. These are very simple techniques that have huge effects on your health. So, please stop doing what doesn't work. Stop procrastinating. Stop with the excuses, the poor nutrition. Doing things like letting the media derail you and control you. I want you to stand on your own 2 feet and know exactly what your body needs to become healthier. There is no reason why you shouldn't be, come out of this stronger and healthier. These are easy things to implement. So I want you to not waste time. I want you to take action. All right? Just start off with something simple. Just start doing sitting out in the sun. Don't just, after this webinar, just sit on the couch and go right back to what you're doing. Take immediate action, discuss it with your spouse, your girlfriend, your family, your children, and start doing things differently. I want you to choose life, and I want you to choose a life that you love. So I'm hoping that this webinar gave you tons of different questions. You know, you're interested, you're intrigued, and you'd like to learn more. So because you stuck with me, you listened to me talk this whole time, I want to do something for you, and I want to offer you a free session with me. And in this session, we're going to go over a routine that's customized for you. We're going to go over even more, go into further detail about steps that you can do to become healthier, increase energy, you know, and make you confident. You know, one of the worst things is to set a goal and not have a plan. So in this session, we're going to set a plan that's custom for you so you can walk away feeling confident. And, you know, if you're dealing with, you know, maybe more serious health issues like diabetes and heart issues and, you know, thyroid issues, pain issues, let's talk about that, and let me show you how you can turn it around by using these, you know, 8 or 9 simple techniques. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to meet you guys and see what you have for me, see what type of questions you have. I can't wait. Again, thank you for watching. Bye.